right, guys, thanks for joining me this beautiful Saturday, October 11th, I believe. Yeah, something like that. In your outpost on the West Coast out here in California. Been working all day at this electrical stuff and doing a little studying on YouTube, watching tutorials and stuff like that. And stuff's starting to come together. Still very slow, but it is coming together. And let's just cover real quick kind of what I've been going through or over. So pretty much, let's turn the lights on here. So this motor is designed to run off of AC current, I believe. It may be flip-flop. Today's power packs put out DC current. Let me see if that's correct. Am I saying that right? Yeah, today's power packs put out variable DC. You hit a button, it automatically reverses. Because this is an AC motor, it doesn't do that. So what guys have done throughout the time is they put these bridge rectifiers on there. Crazy wiring. It looks like an octopus, but it works. It actually works. So let's kill the music real quick. This is going to be boring, kind of like a long video, but it's going to be boring, but it may cover some issues you're having. And as I learn, I'll pass those along to you guys real quick. Now we hooked this up to the power pack when we first got the locomotive. She ran forwards and reverse, at least on the workbench. We didn't put it on the tracks. Then she stopped doing that for some reason. And I figured out this probably was burned out or there was a short or something. So I kind of took everything apart. Didn't get back to this for about 2 weeks. And when I tried to get back to it, I lost track of everything. Had to refer to videos and photographs and figured everything out where it goes. And sure enough, it works like it did originally when we first bench tested this, when we first got the locomotive, forwards and backwards off of our DC power pack. And what this is here, this is just those thingies they sell at hobby stores and stuff where it's like an extra pair of hands and stuff. Right now it's holding. It held up the bridge rectifier as I figured out wiring and then soldered it on the spot. So it was basically a third hand, and I still got it on there, but we don't really need it on there anymore, as you can see. So I'm figuring there must be a short. There's wires going everywhere, and this underneath this board here, one wire will crisscross over another. They go everywhere. It's crazy, but it works. And I'll show you right now in the video. We're going to play some videos for you guys here real quick. Kind of explains everything a little bit better, because I shot video as I was working, and I've been working at this since the morning. It's the afternoon now. We went ahead and we cleaned up our tender body. This way we can ensure good electrical contact in case I have to figure out more shorts or why isn't it working. By the way, this is a beautiful one-piece cast item. It's just beautiful quality. It's got some good weight to it. Some sort of bronze or phosphorus bronze. I don't know what that is. A single one-piece casting. What you would go, I guess, the gear tower, the gear setup mechanism. It's set up, I guess, with ball bearings and just rolls so smoothly. Let's get the music going again in the background. And I'll show you in the video, but neat surprise there is it's Boston gears. And the part number. Pretty cool. As you take apart stuff, clean it up, you start to come across neat little features that you never realized were there. And I'll point some of those out to you guys here as we move along. So this goes there. And we'll put it together here after I show you the next little videos here. motor would sit, kind of like right here. Let's see. I guess this served as some sort of shield or heat sink, heat shield. Who knows? But we're definitely going to use all the old original pieces. I was noticing that I was getting a short in my tender truck wheels. Couldn't figure out why. Both these tender trucks pick up power from one side of the track, from the same side of the track, and however, they have to be insulated from the frame because the frame picks up power from the opposite side of the track. And where the frame gets its power from the opposite side of the track is from the locomotive, from where it picks up its power. So there's a lot of little things going on that kind of got to go in there with a logical frame of mind, a relaxed logical frame of mind that's willing to learn. And as you bump into obstacles, you're willing to dissect it, as opposed to being a Mr. Know-It-All or getting frustrated because it's not wired kind of like the way we're used to with today's modern locomotives. Let me see here. There's a reason why I got my locomotive out. That's from my personal collection back there, and we'll show you that in the next couple of minutes why that's out. Real good. John, if you're watching, real quick before we go any further, would you like me to install, it'll be a metal wire, would you like me to install your whistle cord for you, where it would dangle from here into the cab, and a bell cord, which would also kind of dangle here, kind of like laying down on the side of the boiler? Let me know, or we keep them intact, and just all you gotta do is just text me or call me, or let me know, and we'll kind of accommodate absolutely 100% how you would like to proceed. I mentioned something about the more you take apart these models, especially guys, if you're new to the channel, just watching this is either a 90 or 94-year-old locomotive, almost 100 years old, guys. It's from the very, very, very beginnings of this hobby. It's beautiful. It's handcrafted out of brass right here in the USA, an outfit that used to be out there in New York City. But what I wanted to share with you guys is when I take them apart more and more, the little quirks that you discover as you attempt to dissect these guys. Let's move the camera right where I want you guys to see it, and that will be right here. Let me set this up. Let me raise up the tripod, get a dead down shot, because this is kind of interesting. So when the model first came in, I noticed, oops, sorry about that, my big head just hit the overhead lights. When the model first came in, I noticed one of its side rods was a different color. Actually, it wasn't even nickel steel. It looked like, in this case, it's either brass or copper, and somebody just painted the outsides in silver, which is no big deal. I thought that was original to the model. I don't think it was, and it may have been a repair or replacement for a missing part somewhere down the road, and I'll show you guys why. You could probably already see it right there. This replacement here is a lot thicker than the original ones, either this one here. These are still steel or nickel steel, or I believe in the brochure it said nickel lead or something like that. And they keep, actually this is the metal color has come off. This one you see the more, it actually looks like brass. But we'll touch it up. We'll touch that up with silver paint. Not silver paint that's paint in silver color, but actual silver paint with silver particles in it. And that would be the Alcad 1 or 2. I don't remember which one it is. So there you could see how once upon a time either this one was replaced or this one was replaced, one or the other. And I'm starting to think actually it was the thin one, the one that's all brass colored, because what leads me to that conclusion is this eccentric an eccentric pin, or but anyways, this bolt that holds it onto the driver has a lot of room and a lot of play, like for a more thicker once upon a time original piece, kind of like that right there. Is it a defect? Is it something to squabble over the price of one of these if you're trying to get one? Does it devalue it? I don't think so. And I'm pretty sure everyone's going to agree on here who's been in the hobby for a while. It only adds a lot of character. And it actually, I think it holds and retains its price a hell of a lot better. What a unique piece with a lot of history. And if it could talk and tell us the stories of why it has those repairs or replacement parts. Here's another piece that I get a kick out of. I love this. Okay, whoever put this together, either an owner who acquired it down the road or the guys in Ed Alexander's shop themselves. I've mentioned their names here in the past, and if I had the thing handy, I'd mention their names again right now, but I don't have it handy. But evidently they drilled some holes in here they weren't supposed to or weren't happy with. So how did they go about fixing that problem? Did they throw out the piece and buy a brand new piece or build a new piece? No, they simply threaded it, put a bolt through there or a nut, a bolt or a screw, got it nice and tight, and kind of just ground the top off a little bit. Same thing on this side. Kind of almost what we do when we make mistakes. So a mistake is not necessarily a price killer or devalue the model or make the model less attractive or valuable. Apparently here, for clearance problems, they had to cut into this metal block. There's a nice thick piece of brass, real thick. So all they did is with a grinding wheel, they went in there and you could see the cuts, how little by little they just hogged out till they got the clearance they were looking for. I just love stuff like that. Look at that. So much character. John Lyon can have this thing on his coffee table for years, and every time company comes over, they can turn it around and find different little neat discoveries like what we got there and what we got here with our side rods. So pretty cool, huh? And as you can see, we're when we figure out this electrical, we're ready for painting. And pretty quick, huh? Almost anticlimactic, so to speak. But this is the part of the hobby where I get so sad, and to think that something, one of the girls I handled with my own hands here and gave her so much love, and now I gotta walk her down the aisle, so to speak. And look at that, guys. I could not have done this without all of you guys. Just knowing that you're watching, knowing that you hit that like button. You don't necessarily have to subscribe. You can hit that like button for me each and every time. It only helps to build my little channel and get the word out of the beautiful old scale hobby that we're all involved in. And
from a legal perspective.
Okay, Mr. Legal Perspective. There we go. Like I said, this is going to be a long video, kind of boring, because we're going to be talking about electrical and trying to find electrical boogie-boos and stuff like that. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy John Lyon's locomotive. So all those dents, dings, crinkles, all that gone. That big giant hole in the smoke box gone. We moved the handrails to more correct position, so our handrails sit nice and level going across to match the blueprints that we showed you guys on here on my channel here a couple weeks ago. So just I'm tickled pink. It's been a joy. It's been a blast to handle a piece of old scale history here in my shop with my own hands. What an honor that has been. And you guys are with me every step of the way, and I cannot thank you guys enough. And you want to check out how the handrails came out. Let's kind of hold it up in the air here. Pretty gosh darn good, huh? But thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Really, very, very sincere. Thank you for just knowing you guys are watching is encouraging enough. Anyways, let's show you guys some quick videos. And I'll narrate over them. I'll keep the sound down. Okay, let's see here. All right, class, turn out the lights. It's movie time. All right. So I started off this morning as happy as can be. Had my breakfast, my morning coffee, 2 cups of coffee in this case. Went for my morning walk, came back, played my guitar in the back patio. By the way, that Johnny Cash song we played on my last video, it's stuck in my head. It was the 309. That's the name of the song. So I said, I'm going to learn how to play that song. So I got that down pretty pat. Me and Johnny do a duet every morning to that over coffee. But yeah, I'm starting to play that as part of my my simple repertoire. I've been doing that at work too and stuff on my breaks. I work in downtown Long Beach, so I pretty much on my lunch break, wherever I'm at, I'll plop my butt down somewhere and I just start playing. I just start playing my acoustic. And that Johnny Cash song is one I've been working on, where I got it down where it sounds good in public. But enough about me. Let's go ahead and start this. So, you all know I'm a huge fan of Detroit diesels. So there we go. There is our gearbox, and right there you could see, right there. I just showed you right now where it's prominently stamped with the company logo. Says Boston, as in Boston Gears and stuff. So that was a nice surprise. And right here I'm in the process of removing the engine so we can locate it with that helping hand thing I showed you, and we could start figuring out what wire goes where and solder them together and start figuring out who's doing what, who's not doing what they're not supposed to be doing, stuff like that. Just a very slow process. There we go. We take it apart. Not really dirty or worn out. That's just kind of like a dusting, really. But we cleaned it up real good for John. There's a part where I told you wires crisscross all over the place. When I flipped, I mean, to connect to this, they had to come in through here and cross over everything, and vice versa. You have another one that does that there. You see it right there. There was a problem there, and I'll show it to you. Why I bring it up, why I think sometimes being overly complicated is not necessarily the right way to go. Ask me how I know. I used to own many Volkswagens, made in Germany Volkswagens, back in the 90s, and let's just leave it right there. But anyways, what I found out is in this area here, this is a bare wire right about here. The insulation stops here, and this is a bare wire. This is another bare wire crisscrossing in an X pattern, and they were touching right there. And the metal on the other side, when I took them apart, is shiny. So was that a source of my shorts? Why it didn't work when I finally tried to get it on the track? There's a couple other places where it does something like that too. Also right here, where this black wire and this insulation went through this loop, this hole, to get on the other side. I don't know why that extra step was necessary. Over the years, the insulation rubbed against this metal rim and pretty much wore out that insulation of the wire, and the exposed metal wire underneath was touching this metal loop. Was that a source of our troubles? Okay, let's get to another video here. Let's see. Let's drop the camera down so you guys take a look at the locomotive while I bring up the next video. All right. So there we go. I actually had to bring out To make sure the power pack was working correctly and it wasn't all in my head, and I got a locomotive that always runs. The power setup I did to this myself. I use components from Northwest Shoreline, Pittman, and some of the components that Jerry Snow had for sale here many years ago, briefly. So I put that on the test track, and if it ran forwards and backwards, that means my track, my connections, and my power pack were working fine, and they were. So then we could start toying with the spaghetti bowl of wiring. Well, that was a quick video. It wasn't even worth showing. Let's zoom in on the model again. Did I mention it's going to be a long, boring video? There you go. So right there I'm playing with the, and there you see where I zoom in where it says Boston Gear. I was surprised to see that. There it is, nice and sharp and crisp. At this point I decided just to take everything apart, clean it, and start rewiring everything, and see if I rewire in different routes, maybe I'll avoid some of those short circuit issues or stuff like that. Just all sorts of stuff running through my head. There's that bus with that Detroit engine taking off. That's Bus Grease Monkey's YouTube channel. Check it out when you guys get a chance, because that is an amazing channel. Don't look at that stuff there. So right here we're goofing around with the motor, showing you all what it does, and it spins around with no issues, and it is a very quiet open frame motor, probably one of the most quiet ones I've ever had the privilege of working on in my entire time in the shop here. It's extremely quiet. There's that crazy zigzag pattern. The wires were touching here in this location right here. Where's my pointer? The wires were touching and maybe shorting here, and the wires were frayed here where the metal wire was exposed metal wire was in full 100% contact with that metal loop there. So why these crisscrosses, I don't know. Hey, but who knows? I'm not here to try to figure out. I got to make this thing run. So just showing you the locomotive, the open frame motor. Okay, let's go back. You guys check out that cool locomotive there while I bring up another video. Alrighty, so we're back. I don't know what this one has, but I just shot a bunch of video for you guys, thinking maybe it'll help someone down the road. I think that we did this for the Detroit.
That's correct.
Listen to that sound. I love Detroit diesels.
Go ahead and run it in just a hair.
I'm gonna shut that off real quick. So there you go. There's a shot of the bridge rectifier. I'm trying to figure out the wiring. I cleaned everything up, figured out what color wire is hooked up to what, or where it should go to, and all that good stuff. I'm ready now to start doing some soldering and connecting some wires. Incidentally, this little blue piece of tape, remember I said these two wires, bare wires, were crisscrossing and one was laying on top of each other? That's what that little piece of tape is for. I just lay it down right in between there to hopefully, if there was some sort of wiring issues there, short circuit issues or something like that, hopefully that would help kind of minimize it or eliminate it, really is what I was looking for.
Right there, hold the screw tight and tighten down again.
So at one point I was thinking, is the bridge rectifier fried? There's really no moving parts in a bridge rectifier from what I've been watching in all these YouTube tutorials. Like the teacher's number one student is it's just diodes. It's a series of diodes inside there, probably about 4 of them right there. And all it does is allows current to flow in one direction, and you flip a switch and it allows current to flow the reverse direction, and that's where you get your forward and reverse, just because the current is being thrown a different way. And apparently when you run in AC only, current only flows in one direction only. So that's what the bridge rectifier does, is allow the push of a button for current to flow in the other direction. That's the explanation I got. I'm sticking with it.
Cut it right out. Let it build up a little heat. Yeah.
That's my power source right there. Alrighty, so I felt so confident once I wired everything up, and it ran great and stuff, both directions, forward and reverse, at least on the workbench. I said, you know what, man, I am gonna go. I feel so good. I'm gonna have this thing running by the afternoon that I'm gonna celebrate again. So like the other evening when I put out that video with Ed Campbell's Heavy Pacific, that Overland Union Pacific Heavy Pacific. That evening, I broke out a cigar and some coffee and went out to my front patio, and I just sat there, watched that video about 3 times and played my guitar. I went to sleep almost midnight, even though I had to work the next day. I really, really felt good, and I felt good here. I thought for sure I was going to have it, and I'm giving it away already, the ending anyways. I thought I was going to have it running by late afternoon. It's late afternoon now. And no, it didn't turn out, but we are going to goof around here and make it run a little bit. Let me see here. One last video and proof that I was going to go celebrate. I already have my cigar ready. Obviously, I got my guitar. But I went over to Stater Brothers and bought myself a steak. Yeah, yes, sirree. I said, man, I'm eating steak tonight. But we're still eating the steak tonight, or I may hold off tomorrow. I'm not sure I'm going to be working on this tomorrow. I'm not sure what the plans are with mom or another buddy. Or I do want to work on finishing touches on Bill Balker's locomotive. Now that I got the soldering station all nice and free again. But let's do a little work here tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause this tape. We'll be right back, and we're going to start putting some of this back together again. Hold on a second. Don't go nowhere. right there, since I had the music going real cool and stuff, I thought I was like that Japanese craftsman and gonna be all cool doing this. I bolted it on nice and good, but I had it upside down. So we went ahead, put it in the right side up. Yield works perfect. There's a cutout in the breast frame. It's not cut out, it's a one-piece casting, so it's cast that way. What I love about this frame is it's a single piece casting, but it was designed specifically for this motor here and its setup. So I don't know why. I just think that is so cool, that thinking ahead type thing that I love so much. So we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna put our bolts on from the reverse forward. No, that won't work. No, I would have to. So let me take it apart one more time. This plate should be on here first, then we bolt the motor on. I've learned so much working on this one-of-a-kind type model from the very, very beginning days of the old scale hobby. And will I ever get a chance to work on another one? The two Scalecraft locomotives that I was able to pick up, and I guess John has a couple more older pieces for me to work on. You could see whereas just a couple of years went by and the construction technique started to alter a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that. But this Ed Alexander 440, what a sweetheart it's been. I know it's grown on you guys. We're all kind of pulling for her. We've been pulling for her. But let's get this buttoned up. We'll be right back again. Alrighty, we're back again. Did you notice that Japanese craftsman, no power tools other than a drill? He was not using any power tools. He had his own custom soldering iron, actually an iron. But it was an iron connected to electrical current. That was a neat setup and very unique, and I watched that intently just like you guys did. Alrighty. Now we can drop our motor in just like that. To see what I'm doing. So, did I ever mention to you guys how extremely hard it is to work and videotape for a YouTube video at the same time? And it takes a long time to set it up, and it seems like 80% of your footage winds up on the cutting room floor. I had another cell phone, an older cell phone. It had all my editing software on there, or an app, I should say, and it was still time consuming. I lost that phone along with all that. I kind of feel happy just doing this stuff the way I'm doing it right now. We separate all the wires, make sure Nothing's going south on us. All right. Okay, let me install the trucks real quick. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Okay, so we installed one truck. I marked the ins. I was having short issues with one of these trucks. I went ahead and corrected everything. I marked in black marker, at least temporary, the insulated sides on both trucks. That problem went away, and what that was I assumed it was one of the axles was turned around, the other way, but it wasn't. What it was is the insulating, the fiber washers that go in between your truck, the face of the wheel and the back of the truck side frame. All the fiber washers were gone, so you're getting metal on metal contact, easily solved with putting fiber washers on there. So already we've uncovered 3 potential issues why it was not working. Okay, so for our next part, we'll be right back. Hold on one second while I set it up. All right, we're kind of hooked up here now. You guys ready? Ready to see the big spectacle? All right, guys, it should run forward a little bit. It's not really connected. It's kind of loosey-goosey. We'll kind of have to push it back together again and make it run, and we'll run it backwards a little bit. You guys ready? All right, then, here you go. Well, you saw something working there. So let's do that again. This time, let's put some weight on there. We're going to reverse it. That means we have to change polarities, I guess is the word there. Let's go forward, change polarities again. There you go. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's not quite 6 o'clock out here yet. I'm going to post this video Sunday night. I'm going to post another one tonight, so it'll be backwards. I'm going to post another one tonight of a real neat freight car project for those of you guys interested in the hobby or interested in getting in the hobby but don't want to spend all this money on metal brass locomotives. Just some real neat stuff. So I'm debating whether posting this or that one first tonight, being Saturday night. But anyways, thank you for joining me. You all have an amazing rest of your weekend. Bye.